1,44,000 பேர் போட்டிருக்கிறேன். எனக்கு பைபிள் தெரியாதான்னு சொல்லி நம்பிட்டேன். ஆனால் அது பார்த்தா 12 கோத்திரங்களை பற்றி போட்டிருக்கு. இவர் இப்படி சொல்றாரு என்கிட்ட. அது 1,44,000 பேர். எனக்கு சம்மதி இல்லை. நான் சொன்னேன், உண்மையே தெரியுமா ஐயான்னு கேட்டேன். ஆமா, போன வருஷம் பாஸ்டர் சொல்லிட்டாரு 1,44,000 பேர் இருக்கிற சர்ச் நம்ம சர்ச்சு தான். இதான் வந்து பைபிள்ல போட்டிருக்கிற சர்ச் மனவாட்டி. மக்களை மறுமனையாக்கினான். ஒரு பாருங்க, இயேசுவே கொச்சப்படுத்திட்டாங்க. மக்கள் சபையானது மக்களெல்லாம் மறுமனையாக்கி
Ancient discoveries shedding light on the early church. The Megillah mosaic dates back nearly 2,000 years. And experts believe it decorated one of the earliest Christian worship sites.
My name is Julia Carter, and what I'm about to share with you is too important for me to keep to myself, especially in light of how we worship in churches today. I'm a 48-year-old worship leader from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Before my near-death experience, I thought we were doing everything right. But God had to literally stop my heart to open my eyes to the truth. But before we start, please let me know where you're listening from. It would be nice to feel closer, even if physically apart. Also, don't forget to like and comment on what you thought about this near-death experience testimony. Let's have a fair and open discussion so we can learn from each other on this channel. Enjoy listening. It happened on February 16, 2024. The roads were treacherous that morning after an overnight ice storm, but I was determined to make it to our 6 a.m. prayer meeting. I had been feeling uneasy about our worship ministry for weeks, though I couldn't explain why. Looking back, I believe God was already preparing my heart for what He was about to show me. The last thing I remember was seeing headlights coming toward me as a semi-truck jackknifed on the highway. Then everything went left. The medical report later showed that the impact crushed my car's front end, and I suffered severe internal injuries. My heart stopped beating for 4 minutes and 23 seconds. But what felt like mere minutes on earth was an extensive journey in the spiritual realm. I first became aware of floating above my body. I could see the paramedics working frantically, performing CPR as they cut through the mangled metal of my car. One of them, a young woman with red hair, was shouting, "We're losing her." But strangely, I felt no fear. Instead, I was enveloped by an overwhelming peace that defies description. Then came the light, not the harsh, cold light of the emergency vehicles below, but a warm, fleeting light that seemed to pulse with love and purpose. As I was drawn toward it, I became aware of the presence beside me. I turned and found myself face to face with Jesus Christ. No words in any human language can adequately describe His appearance. His eyes held the depth of eternity, yet radiated a love so personal it brought tears to my spirit. He smiled, and I felt known, completely, thoroughly known, yet fully loved and accepted. "Julia," he said, and his voice resonated through my entire being. "I brought you here because you need to understand something crucial about worship in my church. You've been feeling worried, haven't you?" I nodded, thinking about the unease I've been experiencing during our worship services. "Come," he said, taking my hand. "I want to show you what's really happening in churches around the world." Instantly, we were in what I can only describe as a spiritual observation room. Before us were countless scenes playing out simultaneously, worship services from churches across the globe. But what I saw wasn't just the physical reality. Jesus allowed me to see into the spiritual realm, and what I witnessed both terrified and grieved me. "Watch carefully," Jesus said, directing my attention to a large contemporary church service. The production was flawless moving lights painted the atmosphere with color. The sound system delivered pristine audio, and the worship team performed with incredible skill. By all earthly standards, it was perfect. But in the spiritual realm, dark shadows moved through the congregation like smoke, weaving between people and around the stage. I could see these demonic entities actually feeding off the pride and self-focus of some worship team members. They whispered in the ears of the technical team, constantly pushing them to focus on production rather than prayer. "Lord," I gasped, Is this what's happening in my church too? Watch more, he said, and suddenly we were observing my own church's worship service from the previous Sunday. I saw myself leading worship, and my heart sank. While my voice was singing about God's glory, my spirit was preoccupied with how the new lighting effects looked and whether the video team was getting good camera angles for our live stream. My daughter, Jesus said, do you remember Lucifer's role in heaven before his fall? As he spoke, I was given a vision of Lucifer as he was before his rebellion, a magnificent being, created to lead heaven's worship. I saw how music and praise were woven into his very being, as described in Ezekiel 28, verses 13 to 15. I witnessed his fall, driven by pride and a desire to receive worship rather than direct it to God. The enemy knows the power of worship better than most of my children do, Jesus explained. He cannot stop it completely, so he works to distort it, to shift its focus ever so slightly away from me and then to human beings. He then showed me specific strategies the enemy uses in modern worship and took me closer to the worship service we were observing. Look at how the enemy has twisted worshiping tools for ministry into obstacles, he said, pointing to the sophisticated audio system. This sound system, Jesus explained, was purchased with pure intentions, to help people hear the worship clearly. But watch how the enemy has corrupted its purpose. I saw the sound engineer obsessing over every frequency, so focused on achieving the perfect mix that he was completely disconnected from the spiritual atmosphere. The demons I could see were actively encouraging this fixation on technical perfection at the expense of spiritual sensitivity. And here, Jesus continued, directing my attention to the lighting console. The lighting director was programming complex sequences, but I could see dark spiritual entities whispering suggestions.
bunyinya nggak perlu ada lampunya sponsor. Nah, aku sering 아동하고 진짜 시간 몇 개 여러 번 보니까